Hello, welcome back to the Perfume Experience. And I have something special, and I really think this is going to be something really good. And if you're watching this, this is also going to be probably the world's first review for this beautiful fragrance called as Laathani from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi. And I am guessing by the end of the video, you're going to know the verdict of this particular fragrance. And should you consider getting it, is this probably the best release from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi? All of those answers will be answered by the time you finish this particular video. You're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Stay tuned till the very end. All right, welcome back. So like I said, I have the Laathani here and it's a beautiful box. Let's quickly talk about the box itself. So a nice white marbled, gold colored marbled kind of a box that looks very nice. Quite a big box, and it talks about the 80 ml concentration, the QR code and all of that. So this is the sleeve. Okay, so let's open this up and you'll actually be presented with the box itself. So in case you saw my Detour Noir video, you would have already seen this presentation. But since we're talking about Laathani today, let's do this. So it comes in a black colored box like this, which looks really beautiful. It's got this glazed, finish to it. It's got like a nice cupboard kind of thing. It's got Ahmed Al Maghribi written on the front and in the and on the top as well. And when you kind of open up the bottle or the box like this, you're presented with the bottle like this, right? So let's take this away, and you will notice that it's got the same kind of design element that was there on the outer cover as well. So that way the box is a super solid, you can say 8, and the bottle looks like this. It's very beautiful. The cap has got this Ahmed Al Maghribi written, and it's got this nice design element here. Okay, so this is like a 2-tier kind of thing. It kind of looks very nice actually, and Laathani written here. It's all the parfum concentration 80 ml of, 80 ml is the volume of this particular fragrance. Let's talk about the concentration in a while, but otherwise, just gorgeous bottle, gorgeous presentation, and even more surprising will be the scent profile. And I was kind of blown away by this, because this is not something that you expect, because we've tried a lot of Ahmed Al Maghribi fragrances, and every fragrance has more or less been a good one. Most of the ones are really good. The ones that we tried recently, like for example, if you think Blue by Ahmed, Zelini, Azure Royale, Leather, Bin Shake, a lot of them good fragrances, Ignite Oud, Summer Oud, all of that. And then they come up with this, and you just think, where are they going with these kind of fragrances? I mean, what's the rationale behind creating such beautiful fragrances? So we're talking about Laathani, and this means like no other. Okay, so Laathani means like no other, and they've tried to kind of do exactly that. This is an pressurized atomizer. Okay, so but let me just do a spray here very quickly. Okay, it sprays very nicely, in fact, and you are immediately blown away by a nice amount of fragrance that you kind of get hit with. You will notice something very nice. You will notice a nice sweetness, and you will immediately think, this is something special. Okay, this is something different, and it's really is in a very nice way. So what you kind of smell straight off is a sweet opening. You immediately sense amount of saffron along with a little bit of oud kind of a vibe. It will kind of make you realize that you are thinking about oud for greatness opening, because you have that similar type of a saffron oud type of opening, but very light in the air. And that's something that we will talk about as well. That's very light in the air, and you will kind of get a very nice creamy fruity element somewhere in the background. You can kind of smell some amount of citrus elements, some amount of sweet elements, and then you will smell something like a smoky element. There is some smoke element is there, of course, and that's the predominant vibe of this particular fragrance. So it's more of a citrusy, fresh kind of a fragrance. Now, when I say fresh, don't think about your typical summer type of a fresh fragrance. It's a very mysterious kind of a fragrance where there is saffron, I feel, which is very well blended with some fresh elements. You smell a bit of fruity elements, and you definitely get a good amount of sweetness. Not overly sweetness, sweet, but a little bit of sweetness. And then, of course, you get a good amount of slight element of tartness. Okay, some amount of tartness, and then of course a nice amount of smoky element. Okay, that's predominantly the type of scent profile, and the moment you put it on, you feel like you are put on something very niche. It's a fragrance definitely made for a special occasion. Hands down, this is something that you would want to wear for a celebration. Okay, now what are the notes of this particular fragrance? This, in my opinion, is a 6-note fragrance that if you look at the website of Ahmed Al Maghribi, that's how it kind of speaks about. So the sweetness that's coming is basically coming from fresh notes and candied fruits. Okay, so that's what it is talking about. So there's a bit of that citrusy saffron type of an opening that you very well enjoy, and that's coming definitely from some amount of freshness. Okay, and then of course you have candied fruits. So candied fruits are basically fruits that are dried. They have got a sweetness, but then the fruitiness of it is a subpar fruitiness because it's got a little lower of the fruity elements. Now, if you've gone to any of your dry fruit shops, right, where you have cashews and all of that, they will also have candied fruits. Now, candied fruits would basically be fruits that are dried, like it could be cherries, it could be papaya, it could be kiwi, mango. Any fruits that are dried will give you that nice essence of, a candied, dried, fruity, very beautiful element. Now, in the heart notes is where the magic happens in this particular fragrance, where there is oud. Now, the oud is very nice, very mellow, and it's like I said, if you think about a reference point for this particular fragrance, the opening note is something that I would say is like oud for greatness. Okay, and for that oud, the mixture is a spicy element that's coming from thyme. Now, thyme is a ingredient that's used a lot in a lot of how do you say, continental cuisine, where it brings a amount of spiciness, but it also brings a good amount of freshness. It's very nice in the air to kind of smell it, and thyme as such smells very nice. If you have used the oregano or the Domino's the fillings, right? So the oregano mixture that you kind of get also has thyme in it. So you kind of, can resemble a little bit of that spiciness, but you get sweetness. Okay. Now, after that, the last part is where there's an amazing element. There is the good thing about leather. Okay, so there's a good amount of leather on this particular fragrance mixed with bakur. Now, bakur is again a smoky element that's used in the houses for to fragrant your house, your wardrobes, and all of that. Middle Easterns use this a lot, and that's what is used in the dry down. So what you kind of get is 3-layer, which is very subdued, which is very beautifully blended, where you have a light amount of sweetness and a little bit of that freshness, mild freshness. Now, when I say the top note, if you look at it, you can say about 30% of sweetness and 30% of, let's say, the candied fruits, right? So freshness and 30% there, and the remaining 60%. A remaining 40% is blended with oud and leather, and of course that smoky element. So the thyme is little lower on this particular fragrance. The oud is definitely there, and overall it smells rich, divine, and complex. Okay. Now, I feel that after trying out a lot of Ahmed Al Maghribi fragrances, including things like Ignite Oud, or including things like Jod or Radwa, and all of those samples that I've tried, I feel this is probably their best creation yet. This is definitely hands down their best creation, because it smells so nice, it smells so different, it smells like as if you're trying a niche fragrance in the price band of 20-30K, something like that, a Middle Eastern fragrance which is super elegant, sophisticated, rich, and like the name says, like no other. Very, very beautiful fragrance. And when can you wear it? Now, I feel, like I said in the early time, that this is a fragrance that you can associate yourself with wearing for celebrations, wearing for those special occasions, and this is a compliment getter. I wore it to office to try, because that's where I can wear fragrances to try and see how it performs. And immediately in the first 15-20 minutes time, I got a compliment from a colleague saying, "What are you wearing? You're smelling very, very nice. It's smelling very different." And so there is that luxurious feel that you definitely get, because this is so very unique compared to anything else that you've kind of smelled. So that way, very, very well done by Ahmed Al Maghribi, and I really think it is one of their best creations. Now, having said where you can wear it, like I said, special occasions, something that you want to celebrate, some family gathering, you can wear it. The scent profile is very unisex, so men can wear it, women can wear it, and it's very, very classy that way. Now, in terms of performance, this is where I feel the fragrance has done really well as well. It's a performance which is between loud and somewhere between beast mode. Okay, somewhere between beast mode and loud is where this particular fragrance sits. So it's pretty loud, so you will definitely get about 2.5-3 feet of projection. Hands down, you will get that, no problem. And it does project for a long time, easily about 2 hours to 2.5 hours. It does project well, while it lasts for about 6 to 7 hours. Typically 6 to 7 hours on your skin. On your apparel, you will probably get about an hour more. It's pretty lenient all throughout as a fragrance. So the way it kind of opens is the way it kind of settles down. Probably during the closing hours of the fragrance, it's more woody and more oud type, but but otherwise it's a pretty pleasant, sweet kind of a fragrance that it opens with. Now, I feel the performance is very, very good for a fragrance like this because it really works well. Now I'll tell you the best part about this particular fragrance. You know that Ahmed Al Maghribi fragrances are generally pretty high in concentration. This one is a 45% concentration fragrance. It's 55% alcohol and 45% concentration, and it's kind of written here. I'm not sure if you're able to see it. It's that. So what that makes is it's a very unique thing, because at 45% concentration, it should be a very dense kind of a fragrance, but they've made it so light, so airy, so very smooth, so very buttery smooth in terms of a fragrance as such. And I think it works very well for Laathani in terms of the scent profile. So on the whole, I feel this is a 10 on 10 kind of a fragrance that you can simply buy and enjoy it for the whole year, right? You can wear it as a special fragrance for any occasion, and I think it would do really well in the evenings, indoors and celebrations kind of a environment. So temperatures don't really matter, but you are getting something exquisite, you are getting something nice, you are getting something at designer level price for something that smells like a niche level fragrance. Now you can get this for about 4,000 rupees to 4,200, 300 rupees. You can DM me, I'll be able to assist you with that. But online, I've seen this price shoot up to 5,000 rupees and so forth. And in some places, it's out of stock. But we do also have the decants of it. So in case you want to try this, because yes, it is a little steep in terms of its pricing, but then it justifies the price tag, because when you smell this, you realize that you're smelling something very, very unique. So that way, yes, it does make sense to get this as a special kind of a fragrance that you would want. The only caveat is that I would say that it is sweet. It's not overly sweet, it is sweet. So if you're not into sweet fragrances, then you can avoid this, but otherwise this is a fab fragrance to consider. And I am really happy to do this review, probably the world's first review by the time you're watching this, and the only one for Laathani. So you should definitely consider getting this. Decants are available, and we can also help you with retail. But forget about all of that. Just think that you want to enjoy a beautiful fragrance, something that's very exquisite, something that's very sophisticated, and that you want to try for wearing for a multiple amount of occasions. This is it. And yes, a superb fragrance from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi, probably their best. Like I say it again, this is Laathani, right? So if you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe and share. And for more such fragrance related video, definitely hit the notifications icon so that you get notified about every new fragrance coming to you. So you're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Until another time, take care. Bye now.